Howdy there guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, day 2 of UK Q School. We're going to look through all the stories, points, runners, riders, and also end this video telling you everything you need to know about tomorrow. Tomorrow is where we'll decide the last 128 players that will be playing for those tour cards come the final day of stage 1 of Q School. It gets complicated, I know. I'll talk you through it, don't you worry. Thank you to everybody who did hit that subscribe button yesterday. I had a good jump in subscribers, moving closer to my YouTube goal of one day and 100,000 subscribers, getting YouTube plat button. So thank you to you guys, and if you are in here and you haven't subscribed, join the Edgar Nation. Please do go hit that button. But what we're here today for is to look through Q School for all the stories and key moments. Now, yesterday, one was pointed out to me that I missed that I absolutely loved. Darren Beveridge, ice cold, going out with 2 170 finishes to win the match. From 4-3 down, 170, 170. Makes you sick, but also makes you very, very happy if you're in the Beveridge camp. So, if you do see anything like that today, remember I'm trying to cast my eye over 64 matches across the UK and over Europe. So, if you do see anything really cool and exciting, go down to the comments section and share away down there. Let's talk all things Q School down in the comments. But today we're going to have a look through. Now, you'll notice there are less games today in the round of 512. The reason for that being a couple of players already went through yesterday. Some players will probably just be wanting to go in order to get challenge tour places, which means you've got to attend a day at Q School, and that'll be even less tomorrow as people will be protecting their points. But we'll have a little look through the stories here and then move into round 2. So first of all, Rex Cole getting off with a nice 5-1 win. Someone please tell me his nickname is T. It's got to be, hasn't it? Dinosaur on the back of the shirt, T Rex Cole. It's got to be 100%. If you know T Rex Cole, let him know. I'm on it 100% on that one. Looking through in order to try and find some big shocks and everything. There wasn't too many. There was a couple of little surprises. I mean, Darren Beveridge going out, but not surprising the fact he went out to Willie Borland. Reece Colley, someone I tipped in this last year, just doesn't seem to perform at Q School. 71 average, a little bit disappointing there. 3-time world champion John Park going through against Chris Wickerden is a good result there for him. You may notice a couple of players here that I've seen in the comment section. Michael Flynn, someone who a lot of people drew attention to when I made my prediction video. Gary Blades, an ex-tour card holder himself, going out at this stage. So there was a couple of disappointing performances from people here. Aidan Kirk will probably be the most disappointed one. Not the fact he lost to Brett Claydon, quality player, but the fact that he didn't back up the performances that we saw from him yesterday. I think that'll be the disappointing thing for him here. Scott Campbell, someone we picked up on yesterday, was 4-1 up, averaging in the high 90s. Somehow lost the game, lost 4 in a row. He's lost 5 there to Dale Gadsby. So his bad form, unfortunately, going to be continuing into another day. But that's that sort of opening round. The next round is the round of 256. This is the round where they then start allocating points. So points are awarded to players who win a match at the round where there is no buys. So the players that run in that round of 512 don't get any points for winning that match. The points come from round number 2. So round number 2 where the points are going to start being allocated, and this is where we're going to start having a little look through again through the list. We're going to try and see the key stories and talking points as we go through, and I've got to say, very happy to see the T-Rex himself, T-Rex Cole, going through into the round of the points. We'll be following his journey throughout Q School, that's for sure. Scott Taylor, somebody who's been knocking on the door, but he just, whenever he's in a PDC arena, I just don't think we see the best of him. It's like he overestimates the work or the possibility that's needed to be done. We've seen good things from him at the Super Series. We've seen him qualify for things before, but he just doesn't seem to get there for me, and certainly in terms of the ability that he's got. Scott Walters, somebody who has ambitions and goals to get on the WDF World Championship should he not get his tour card. He's already got a few good points on the board from last year. 3-time world champion John Park wins again. He's not averaging great, but sometimes it's the name value and the name power that you have that just sort of helps you through situations. John Cook goes out 5-3. If you're unfamiliar with the name John Cook, you may be familiar with something he did. Remember in lockdown? Remember the video? The 2 160 outs? Mike Stoop? That's John Cook for you. That's the man. Victory here as well for Shane McGurk, one of my predictions. 5-0 over William Borland. Borland, you may remember, hitting that 9-darter at the World Championship against Bradley Brooks. Goes out to McGurk. Great performance from McGurk. Poor one from Borland. Long way off the best and what we know he is capable of. Young lad here, Thomas Banks, going through 5-3. There's quite a lot of youth taking part in this event. It's not just all about some of those older players or players looking to return back to the tour. It's also about those young players as well. Kevin Painter, didn't expect to see him in it today, knowing that he's aiming just to get some more competitive darts, but maybe the not great day yesterday's got him out there firing and shooting again. Alex Spellman certainly shooting well against Darren Webster of Henor. This is like the old Martin Atkins Wigan sort of scenario coming back again. Alex Spellman, player I really do expect to get a card. He's looking good. Maggini looking good again. 90 average. He goes out. It can be frustrating sometimes at Q School when you see here like a 90 average and you lose 5-1, and then you look around. Look, 67 average win, 67 average win, 64 average win. And this is just the wide open nature and draw of Q School and how it can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. It's a bit. Some people call it a lottery. It's more than a lottery. It's still a talent competition, but there is obviously ways in which it can be weighted against. Fallon Sherrick, someone I think is going to get a card this year. Good win against David Davies, who comes into this on good form. He is one of only 4 players to win all their matches in a Group B campaign at the Super Series. He did that just last week, so he came into this in decent form, but unable to convert a win. He's going to need to do something tomorrow, as will quite a lot of other players as well. We'll have a flick through the points and see what people have got on the board and try and find some notable names here that are missing. So these players are still in the tournament as it stands, but we're going to look out for players who are currently outside who need a big day tomorrow. I'm estimating 4 points should keep you a bit safe. William Borland, we just said about the 9-darter that he hit at the World Championship that put him on the map, never really did the same, and he's going to need a big day tomorrow, currently out of position. Geoffrey, someone we was enjoying watching yesterday, he's going to need a big day to get himself into the second phase. Reece Colley won the WDF British Classic, the big open, that some real legends on that Roll of Honour, and he is out of position as well. He's been someone you'd expect to see in the 77, as is Maggini and David Davies, 2 players we'd expect to see at least in stage 2, so potentially more casualties there. Robert Thornton, someone we know had no intention of getting a tour card. He's only literally just gone for the day so that he can do that challenge tour. His attention is firmly on the seniors event. I don't expect to see him taking his place in the lineup any further as far as the event goes. And the rest of these are going to need a very sizable day. That includes someone like Kevin McDine, who you don't have to cast your mind back too far to have that big run at the World Championship and the Grand Slam of Darts. Now, some people have had deep runs 2 days in a row. They now are pretty much going to be guaranteed to be through on points. I'll update you with those, because we're going to have people that are guaranteed that they don't need to turn up tomorrow. We've had this before in the past where people have actually qualified, but they've still played on day 3. It's a personal choice. You don't have to play on day 3. You can have the day off. Some people just want to keep playing and ticking over, which can get frustrating if you're one of the players that need points and then you play one of the players that are already in. But it's their right to do so, I guess. Star performers of this round. Now, there's a few more than we had yesterday at this stage. Alex Spellman, the American, continues to impress. 106 average, the best of anybody in this round. He did that against Jim McEwen, the Modus Super Series champion. And Jim McEwen averaged 100.01 himself in this fixture, which again can be frustrating when you go to Q School, you average 100 and you lose 5-1 at this point. Peter Jake's been around the tour for a while, very good consistent player from Yorkshire. He goes through 5-1 against Chris Hogg. Fallon Sherrick, one of my picks to get a card, gets points on the board again and puts herself in a good position. A good win there over Ryan Hogarth, who has been doing some very good stuff on the WDF tour recently, so a good sizable win that will put her in good stead. New name on me here, Daniel Astbury, 5-4 victory with a 95 average. Harry Gregory, I believe, is one of the young lads taking part in this event. He goes through with a 5-0 victory of his own against Jacob Quinn, another good player from Yorkshire. Chris Quantock, ex-tour card holder, he picks up a 5-0 win over James Parkin. These are all your players that averaged over 95 in this stage. We did lose, obviously, Jim McEwen, Reece Robinson, and the 3-time world champion John Part goes out at this round, but still picks up some points. So this is the point we now start casting our mind forward. If you've got 2 decent days, you don't need to be winning the day. Obviously, you get straight through if you're winning it. But if you can have back-to-back days of picking up points, you may be able to have the Wednesday off and get ready for the big 4 days that are ahead, which is the back end of Q-School where the tour cards are given out. Now, if we take a look here, we can have a look at the top 32. The results are now complete. And we can see in here a couple of people that have done okay. I mean, first of all, we've got to pick out Chris Quantock, who again is a star performer, 105.85, 5-0 win over David Evans. And Alex Spellman, again over the 100 average, following in the success yesterday of Daniel Albee, showing that the Americans are coming and further confirming the fantastic work that is going on with the CDC Tour, who continue to send us fantastic players from that part of the world. Fallon Sherrick, another good day for her. She's through to the last 16. Another 93 average there. Good victory 5-3 against Paul Redfern. That should probably be enough for her in order to get through to stage 2 at this point. Certainly will be for players like Thomas Banks, who again having another good day, reaching the last 16. Mark Dudbridge showing flashes. Hey, like what I did there? Flashes of his old self getting through. Another one of my tips, McGurk, through again. He's looking good for getting through to that secondary phase. And here's someone we haven't picked up on yet, Jamie Atkins. Now, Jamie Atkins is someone I've known for quite a long time. He lives not too far away from me in the Leamington area. Warwickshire county player. Did stop playing darts for a period of time because he had issues with the dreaded D word, but has more than beaten that comeback. He's now an England international and probably stronger than ever before. He is someone who's attempted Q-School on occasions, but I don't think he's ever been as equipped as he is for it now. He's looking good into the last 16, should get him plenty of points. Now remember, this is the last round. This is the qualifying round. If you win this, you go directly through to Thursday, where it starts with the top 128 players, and the tour cards will then be allocated from that point. So, these are your players that are through to that stage guaranteed. They are down your left-hand side here. So, we've got Andy Hamilton going through to the final stage. Shane McGurk, one of my tips. Fallon Sherrick, another one of my tips. So happy with those two. 97.6 average. He's played well, and a 5-0 victory there against an ex-PDC tour card holder in Brett Claydon just shows why I think she's going to have it this year. A very, very good performance from her. Alex Spellman been fantastic all day. He goes out with another 100 average. He's got enough on the points, but how much must it affect him in the fact that he's playing so well but not getting through automatically? It might make him, question or try pushing a bit harder, which is an easy psychology to get in. I know I did that when I played Darius Labanauskas. I was like 96 in the first set, lost 3-0, and then I was like, right, I need to come out and play better, and actually played worse because you try pushing things through. Didn't quite work out the way I'd want it to. Kevin Lane comes out of his lane and banks on it. Hey, you like it, don't you? You like it. That's what you like around here. Chris Quantock, a good victory here for 5-0. Ashley Coleman, he'll be happy enough with a run to the last 16. He should have enough points to get himself through as well. Jamie Atkins as well. Someone we picked up on earlier on, England International now getting a win on the board. So what does that mean in terms of points? Now, as I've said to you before about points, I reckon 4 points is enough. Now, that means anyone here, from Kevin Thomas down to Dan Reed, who are all on 5 points or above, they're all in as far as I'm concerned. There's no doubt they're going to be in. Now, the 4-pointers, I would say, are in as well, but certainly those that have good leg difference. So I'd say probably from Patrick Quinn up, they probably run the risk of happening what happened to Conan Whitehead, where he went into the last day, he lost by a leg score that actually cost him a place, where if he didn't play, he would have been in. So I'd say those on 4 points are safe, which means maybe your 3-pointers. I mean, I won't be surprised if someone gets 3 points and a good leg difference and still qualifies. I think there'll be a few people on 3 points get qualification places when you look down the list and you can see the different sort of possibilities. Now, when we get to the 77 point, we get to that cut-off. Currently, Alex Small of Wales takes up that position. Now, when we're in that position, you've got 2 points. That is what's been the allocated point for the cut-off. 1 point a day. And I reckon it's going to be the same again. Just another point on top. I don't think there's going to be enough people jump into the 4-point bracket. So 3 points and leg difference should be enough for some people. Some people may still miss out on 3 points. These guys are in yellow because if someone goes and wins a card who's already in a position, so let's say, for example, not win a card, win a place. Let's say, for example, Steve Haggerty decides to go and play and he wins the day, he will come off the points tally order of merit and then it will go to the next person in line. So again, it does get a little bit tricky and confusing, so if you are a bit confused with that, don't you worry, I've got your back. Just make sure you're subscribed here and I'll talk you through it. But the big story I think of today is Fallon Sherrick gets through to that last stage. Now, I've said this could be the year for her. I think if it's this year or never, as far as I'm concerned, it has to be this year. I don't think she gets one ever. It will not mean she can't play the women's series. People who get their tour cards are not able to play on the challenge tour, but the younger lads, the under 23s, they can still play the development tour, and the ladies can still play on that women's tour as well. So it's not going to stop us still playing things like the women's match play or maybe getting a world championship spot off the back of that. That's a conversation for another day, because that opens up a can of worms. We'll save that one for another video in the near future. But for now, guys, that's day 2 of Q School complete. Let me know your talking points and stories down in the comment section below. It's D-Day tomorrow for stage 1. Catch you soon.